And get started.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Desiree, and I'm the wine ambassador for Pernod Ricard Winemakers, representing the lovely Campo Viejo brand. And today we're going to be making two really fun cocktails. One is a frosé, and the second is a Rosarita. Both are going to be made with the Campo Viejo still rosé. So these cocktails are so easy to make. Most of the ingredients you'll probably already have at home, and I'll even show you how to make some of the ingredients if you don't have them. So super easy. Let's get started. Should we go in and make the first cocktail, and then we can talk more about the brand? But it'll be fun to just get the cocktail going so you have something to sip on while I chat with you about Campo Viejo. Does that sound good?
Sounds like a great plan.
All righty. Okay. So the first cocktail that we're going to make is the frosé. So the frosé is going to be with Campo Viejo still rosé. So I say still because this has no bubbles in it. So hopefully you got a chance to pick up your still rosé from Campo Viejo from Mariano's. The next ingredient is lemon juice. So I'm going to juice some lemons right now just so I can show you how easy it is to make this cocktail fresh. But if you don't have lemons at home and you just have the store-bought lemon juice, that is absolutely fine. I always keep this handy too, but I'm just going to juice the lemon here because I want to show you how simple it is. The next ingredient is going to be simple syrup. So simple syrup is one of the ingredients that you may not have in your fridge, but it's so easy to make. I actually made this batch of simple syrup earlier this morning, and the way you make it is with 1 part sugar and 1 part water. I do mine in cups, so I'll do 1 cup of water, 1 cup of sugar. I'll put it on the stove, heat it up just until the sugar melts. You don't want it to start burning. Once it melts, you let it cool down, and then you can store it in a little squeeze bottle and pop it in your fridge and use it for whatever cocktail that you are making. So super simple. If you didn't get a chance to buy it at the store, just make it at home. And then last but not least, absolute vodka. So the vodka adds a nice little kick to the cocktail. And it's going to make it really fun. And then you also need ice and a blender. I'm going to be using my NutriBullet today, and I'm going to just build the cocktail right in the NutriBullet cup. If you don't have a NutriBullet, feel free to use a regular blender. If you have a hand mixer that is strong enough and powerful enough to crush the ice, that'll work. I know some people have Ninjas instead of NutriBullets. All these work. You're just going to blend it for a few seconds until the ice is crushed and you get a nice frozen consistency. But if you don't have a blender, that is okay too. You can just build the cocktail and shake it and pour it over ice. It's still going to taste amazing, but you just won't have that frozen consistency. Okay, so enough talking. We're going to get started. I'm going to cut this lemon in half. And then I have my little squeezer here. This is a big lemon, which is good. We'll get a lot of juice. And we're going to squeeze that. This looks like plenty. I probably won't even need the other half. Okay, so we got quite a bit of lemon juice. And then we're ready to build it. I'm going to start with ice in my NutriBullet cup. Now, for the amount of ice, you don't want to use too much ice because you don't want to dilute the recipe. You just want enough ice to give you that good consistency. So I have some chunks here, but I usually try to do like not much more than a cup of ice, unless you're making it for more than one person. I'm just going to go with that much ice. It's about a cup of ice. Perfect. I see some people following along. And the rest of the recipe is in parts. So I'm going to do ounces today, but feel free to use whatever measure that you want. So it calls for 4 parts rosé. So I'm gonna do 4 ounces of the Campo Viejo rosé. So I'm using this little jigger here, but feel free to use whichever unit of measure that you have. So I'm going to do 4 parts. The smaller end is a 1 ounce pour. So I'll do 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. We're gonna do 1 part lemon juice. So we already did the lemon juice, so that's gonna be 1 ounce in the unit of measure that I'm doing. So hopefully you got a chance to squeeze your lemon juice. This was absolutely plenty, so I had some left over. 1 part. We're gonna do 1 part Absolute. And then 1.5. Is everybody still with me? Give me a thumbs up. Perfect. Okay, good. And then we're going to do 1.5 parts simple syrup. So that's 1. And I'll just do eyeball half there. The simple syrup is just going to add some nice sweetness to the cocktail. What's lovely about this cocktail is that the Absolute vodka is so smooth, it's not going to overpower the very fruity flavors in the Campo Viejo rosé. So everything is in my NutriBullet cup. I'm going to go ahead and mix. Now you just want to mix until it's all the ice is melted. I could kind of hear a little bit of ice there. Then when I stopped it, there is not a lot. So this is a nice slushy consistency. If you want it, you could do a little more ice if you like yours thicker. But again, you don't want to dilute it. So this is nice and icy. So now that your cocktail is made, I'm going to use a reusable straw because we love sustainability at Campo. And then also you can top this cocktail with whatever garnish you have. So I have some strawberries that I already had in the fridge. I'll just cut that off, give it a little cut at the bottom. We can put that there. And then we can also cut up a few slices to drop in the cocktail. All right, I'm gonna take the first sip. I've been talking. Ooh. So delicious.
I busted out this cup just for you.
Yes, way rosé, love it. Okay, so we have our rosé here. I garnished mine with strawberries, but you could do strawberries. I also have another half of the lime here. So if you want, I did a little lime wedge. Boom, pop that in. And it looks so beautiful and fun. Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.
So you see how super simple, so refreshing, so tasty. The Campo Viejo rosé is made with the Garnacha grape. Garnacha is a grape that is very juicy. It's full of ripe fruit flavor. And that really shines through in this cocktail. You taste all the strawberry, all that cherry flavor, and then it's just accented by the lemon juice and the Absolute vodka.
It's so refreshing, and you're right. It tastes more like a very fruity, refreshing wine drink. You don't really taste the vodka, and I mean that in a good way. It's not like an overly strong drink.
It's a little bit dangerous because you could just kind of sip it and not even realize that you're drinking a cocktail with vodka in it.
Yeah, but a lot of people I'm Amanda from Mariano's, everyone, by the way, but there's so many great comments in here, like people like Billy can't wait to try it over the weekend. How many servings does it make, Van? I think the recipe, Desiree, that you provided is for 1 serving, so you could double it.
Absolutely. So I just made 1, but the recipe is super nice because it's in parts. So if you want to scale it up, instead of using ounces, you can just use 1 cup of all the ingredients and then 4 cups of the Campo. And then that way you're scaling it for more people.
Yeah, they're all good. Oh, and my mom wrote me a private note saying that she loves your dress.
Oh, thank you, Mom.
And that the drink looks delicious. Sean, Sarah posted the recipes a little further up in the chat. So if you scroll up, you'll see them up there.
Yep, but a super simple recipe, just 4 parts of the Campo Viejo Rosé. You got 1 ounce of Absolute, 1 ounce of lemon juice that I freshly squeezed, and then 1 ounce of the simple syrup.
Desiree, let's check in with Chi-Town Girl because she made it. I'm going to unmute her, if that's okay. How is it?
Yeah, of course.
Or I think you need to, oh, there you are. Hi.
It's really good. I really like it. It's super, it's not too sweet. It's a well-balanced drink. I like the lemon in it. And the wine is like perfect. When I was in Valle de Guadalupe last year, and I had a wine smoothie. So this is pretty comparable. Really good.
Yeah, I'm glad you love it. It's such a refreshing drink, and you're right. The wine, it's a nice light wine, very fruity, and it just really pops in this cocktail.
Love it. So Desiree, tell us more. I mean, this Campo Viejo, it's such a beautiful color. Can you tell us about more about the wine?
Yeah, sure. So I'll tell you a little bit about Campo Viejo, the brand, and then we can get into the wine. But Campo Viejo is a Spanish wine brand. Our home is in Rioja, which is, I would say, the most famous wine region of Spain. At the helm of winemaking, we have 3 amazing females. Our chief winemaker is Elena Adele, and all 3 winemakers were actually born in Logroño. So Logroño is the capital city of Rioja. So they just really have strong ties to the land. They've been doing winemaking for quite some time, especially in Rioja. And then our chief winemaker has been with us for 20 plus years. So really, she's had an opportunity to really make Campo Viejo reflect Rioja and all that Rioja has to offer. So amazing ladies there. Our Campo Viejo Rosé, I mentioned, is made from the Grenache grape, or Garnacha is what they call the grape in Spain. And these grapes are from the Navarra region, so not too far from Rioja. And we get our grapes for the rosé from Navarra because that region is really well known for making rosés from Grenache. So at Campo Viejo, we love to stay authentic, using grapes that come from the best of the best and really reflect the region. So that's why we use Grenache here, a very fruity wine, a grape that can really stand up to warmer weather like in Spain. And then you just get those nice, refreshing rosés from this wine. So that's just a little bit. I mentioned also about sustainability. So I'm using my reusable straw because it's very important to us. At Campo Viejo, if you ever get to Rioja and see our winery, you'll notice that it doesn't look that big from the street view. It looks fairly small, and that's because most of the winery is underground. And the reason we do that is so that we're not intruding upon the beautiful landscape of Rioja, all the vines. We don't want to encroach upon the landscape. And also because underground is cooler, so we don't need a lot of electricity to keep underground cool, and that helps us remain sustainable. We're also the first carbon neutral winery in Spain, which is an amazing feat, and hopefully other wineries in Spain will follow suit.
That's such an amazing attribute, especially right now with everything we're going through with coronavirus and the ecosystem and all this stuff. I just feel like that's such a great selling point for the winery. I don't even know how many other wineries are taking it to that level.
Yeah, yep. So we were the first, and that was only a few years ago, not many years ago. So other wineries are starting to see the importance, but we were at the forefront of making sure that we were sustainable and really taking care of the land that gives us so much. Like, without land and without taking care of the earth and the soils, we wouldn't be able to have great wine. So that's why it's so important to us at Campo Viejo.
I love it. So we're having some nice comments. So Denise Daniels, I'm saying this out loud, I know it was just to me, but you can also, if you want to make this a little bit lighter in calorie, you can use monk fruit sweetener to make the simple syrup instead of sugar, which I actually like that idea. So I'm definitely going to try that one of these days. And
I love that too.
I know. It's like a fun, just another thing to learn about when you're making cocktails. And then Van, who's tuning in, did a blood donation today. Good job.
Good job.
Yeah, so there's no drinking there, but maybe over the weekend, as it's noted. And then everyone wants to add Campo to their bucket list. So this is like
yes.
a great wine. Earlier in the chat, someone asked like how this might be different, because if you look at just like the shade of pink that it is, it looks very close to like a French rosé. So how would you describe the difference between Spanish, this type of Spanish rosé and a French rosé?
That is such a good question. So our rosé is made in a Provence style. So Provence is in the southern portion of France, and that's where most of the rosés come from. So we wanted to model our wine after the Provence style, but give it a bit of a Spanish flair. So you'll notice that it does have a bit of a lighter color, but the fruit flavor is still really there, and it's very, very fruity. So we did model it off of that Provençal style, but just giving it a little bit of a Spanish twist using solely Garnacha. A lot of wines from Provence are going to be blends of Grenache and other grapes, but we use only Garnacha because it's coming from that Navarre region in Spain.
Well, I think I have a new favorite cocktail. This is really, I'm going to be making this. Next week, I'm taking a staycation. This is my drink of choice. So
love it. And the good thing about it is it's so easy. So sometimes making cocktails at home is difficult because the recipe will call for like so many ingredients that you don't have, that, you enjoy it when you're going out to a bar, but unfortunately we can't do that. And you don't want to go out and buy every little thing to make good cocktail. So this is perfect, using things that you already have. Like I said, you can use strawberries to garnish. I use the lemon, but if you have raspberries, even cherries, anything you have in the fridge, you can just pop it in and make it a cocktail of your own.
And I feel we've had rosé recipes in the past at the stores, and some of them are like, you have to freeze this, and you have to I feel like this is just so, you know what, I want to have a rosé right now, and then I can make it very easily. So this is really a great recipe, Desiree.
Thank you. I'm so glad you all are enjoying it. The next cocktail is just as easy and also just as delicious. So if there are no other questions about Campo Viejo, about the rosé or the rosé cocktail, we can move on to the Rosarita.
Yeah, we just have 2 comments. Shayna says that exactly. It's a great that it's a woman-owned business, Campo Viejo, so she loves that. And Adrian did it on the rocks versus frozen and still said it was delicious. So I want to try it both.
Yes.
I think I'll like it blended. Yeah.
Love it. I'm so glad that somebody tried it on the rocks. Sometimes you don't want to use your blender, or maybe you don't have one. Right. And this one tastes just as good on the rocks. So that's perfect that you were able to give that testimony.
All right, I think we're ready for the next one.
Okay. So the next one is a little bit different. I'm going to clear off my space here. and get some new ingredients up. So we're still gonna leave our cutting board because this recipe calls for lime juice. So I'm gonna squeeze a lime. And this is a Rosarita. So a twist on a margarita. And then I've got salt for a little bit later. Let's go ahead and cut our lime. If you're using fresh lime juice, go ahead and do your juicing. But hey, if you don't want to do fresh, the store-bought is fine. No judgment. I do it all the time too.
I love that tip. We don't always have to be overachievers. You know, we can
We
use
don't.
it around and just make it easy on ourselves.
Absolutely.
Of course, of course, squeezed it though, because I am kind of an overachiever. So
Yeah. And I mean, most of the time, I know for myself, I buy the limes in a bag, so I just have like too much citrus. Like,
oh, can I ask you questions about citrus really while we're spoken?
yes, let's do it.
So I do the same. I like to have it in the house because whether we're cooking or, you know, I need it for a recipe, and I've been really into using lemon zest a lot in some of my like seafood dishes and in pasta. But sometimes the limes sit around for too long, and the skin gets like a little, like it almost looks dry, but the juice is still good. Is that okay at that point?
Yeah,
okay to
as long as the juice is fine, then you're totally good to use it. Yeah, just give it a little taste. It's not gonna hurt. If it tastes bad, obviously throw it away. But don't worry too much about that.
I left you for so long, but now I'm gonna squeeze you. So yeah.
So this cocktail is a margarita, and it's gonna be shaken. So I'm gonna use my mason jar as my shaker because not everyone has a shaker at home, but a lot of people do have mason jars. So I love the mason jar as a shaker because you can shake it in here, and then you take the little ring off, and then you can strain it right into your cup. So if you don't have a shaker, that's okay. Get creative and use what you have. So we're gonna build it in this glass, but we're gonna also put ice in our drink cup in just a second. So let's just get some ice in here. I like to use a good amount of ice because I want it to be extra cold. I'll use just a little bit more. Okay, so we got our ice, we got our lemon juice. We're also going to be using the Avion tequila, and then this recipe calls for agave nectar. So agave nectar can be store-bought. The good thing about using agave nectar is that the Avion tequila is made with 100% blue agave. So you're playing up on some of the flavors that are already available in the tequila. But if you don't have agave nectar, don't fret. You got simple syrup. So use the simple syrup that you made in the previous recipe. Don't stress too much about it. The agave nectar is used as a sweetener. So use whatever sweetener. Someone mentioned before using a monk fruit type sweetener, and that's okay too if you're trying to stay low on the sugar. That's absolutely good, and you inspire us all to be more healthy. Okay, so the recipe calls for a half part of the Campo Viejo Rosé. So I'm using my jigger again. I'm just gonna eyeball a half ounce in the smaller portion of this. Ounce of lime juice that I freshly squeezed, eyeballing that. We're going to be using, again, a half ounce of sweetener. I'm using the agave nectar, but feel free to use your simple syrup if that's what you have on hand. And then this one is going to be a spicy cocktail. It calls for 1.5 parts of Avion tequila. So let's get ready. The great thing about using such a high quality tequila is that it really comes through in the cocktail. So using 1.5 parts is not going to be bad because you're using Avion. You can't say the same for others. So I'm going to go ahead, put my top. Is everybody with me? Give me a thumbs up if you're following along. Okay, good. I'm going to twist on my top. And we are ready to shake. Shake it out. All right. So I'm just going to get a look. Wait, first, before we pour it, let's get some salt on our rim. If you don't have salt, that's okay. If you're sticking away from your salt, that's okay too. I like to use salt. It's my guilty pleasure. Don't mind me. All right, we're ready. And I'm gonna show you how easy it is to use this thing. You just push the top back a little bit and watch. No ice is gonna come through. Oh, that is so beautiful. So this is everything that the recipe calls for, but y'all know me by now. I like to spice it up. I'm gonna cut, I got half of my lime. I'm gonna cut a little lime wheel. I'm gonna pop it in there. And then if you're feeling spicy, I've also got some jalapenos. I'm feeling spicy today, so I'm gonna cut up a few slices of jalapeno. I'm gonna pop those in there. Ooh, it smells so good. And you are ready to drink. Let me get up and show you. I did the jalapenos because I like it spicy.
Looks great.
Thank you. I see some others on here that look good. I love the lime wedge on the rim. I didn't do that because I did a salted rim, but if you prefer not to do salted and you want to do a little lime wedge around the rim, that is perfect.
I'm so excited, Desiree.
So good. And so easy yet again.
I know Chi-Town Girl earlier said that she learned how to make the perfect margarita. This is like an upgrade. Let me go to unmute her. I think you have to unmute yourself though.
This is delicious.
Isn't it so good?
It's like level 10 margarita.
Yes. I love it. 10
It's a way to make a cooler margarita. It's a Rosarita. I love it. It does have like a pretty like pink color.
It does. And the rosé just adds a nice little fruity kick to it. So it's perfect. And I added jalapenos and it just adds a nice little spice to it. Not too much, but feel free to use whatever. If you had the strawberries for the first cocktail, you could also pop your strawberries in this and do like a little strawberry play on your margarita. But you have the base down with the rosé, the agave nectar, the tequila, and the lime juice. So you could just make it your own after that.
All right, there's Sue. Sue, we're gonna put you on the spotlight. Hold on. I think you have to unmute yourself though.
Oh, so dark. Can you hear me?
Yes.
It's very tasty. Although I will say we didn't have a silver, so this is a reposado. So it's a little, it's got a little more going on than I think if it was a silver, it would be a little lighter, I think.
Yeah, definitely. But that's a fun twist on it.
And it looks great. I love you're all ready. You have your insulated, your cooler cup, so you're ready to go.
Exactly.
I have a bunch of those. They're so good. Awesome. And then Desiree, someone like Yvonne would like to know, do you just cut the jalapeno and put it in?
Oh, literally, you watch me do it. I literally just cut it up. I washed these before. Cut it up just like that. Pop them in.
All right.
Boom. So the seeds are what makes it really spicy. So if you don't want to get that kick, try to remove the seeds. I don't mind it, especially if I do just a few slices. And it adds just a nice little spice to kind of counteract the fruit and the sweetness. So
you're not getting a lot of questions. You're just getting great comments. Like everyone loves the mason jar idea. That's
yes.
a really good one.
I'm so glad you love that.
Everyone loves the drinks. And there was another, Chi-Town girl who is literally now a mixologist, I think. You know, chili salt on the rim would be a great.
Oh, yeah. You know, I actually did bring my chili powder. I didn't use it today, but watch this. I just put a little chili powder in my in my salt. And then look, you could spice up the rim too.
I love you just had that there, like perfect timing.
Always ready. So it just depends on how spicy you like it.
Right. I would definitely like chili. I'm going to make these more regularly. Sometimes, I do love margaritas, but I love rosé wine. And I think it's a great, it's a great upgrade to a margarita. I think you taught us really cool tricks today that are just sort of like, oh yeah, you could have this or you could have this. And you've really done a great job on making it really easy for us too.
Good. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. And this is another cocktail that is so easy to scale up. If you want to prepare a bunch before, you have social distancing party, this is a great cocktail for that. You just use larger parts in your recipe. But yeah, so super simple. You don't need a lot of things or a lot of time.
So Violet just asked me, she's on the call, the strawberries aren't really part of the recipe. They're an add-on, right? Like a garnish, more so than.
Exactly. So the strawberries in the frosé, you could add them if you wanted to, but it's going to change the way that you experience the wine in the cocktail. So I just like to use them as garnish so that the absolute flavor and that the Campo Viejo still wine rosé really shines through.
Okay. Love it. And we're getting pairings now. The drink would go great with smoked rub wings. Yes, Chi-Town girl.
Oh my God.
I have a great rub for you that one of our tastemakers made up, but it's become a staple in my pantry. I'll send you the recipe or I'll post it.
Yes, we need that recipe. So
you put it on salmon, chicken, like everything. And it's like, it's not smoky necessarily unless you barbecue it, but it's so good.
Right.
And then Stu had a great recommendation. It's a great drink with fajitas. Look at, you have your own. I love it. Send us your recipe.
So good. I would definitely pair the margarita with like tacos or fajitas. It's just so light and fresh, and depending on how you garnish it, it could go well with a lot of Mexican cuisine. And then for the frosé, obviously you could pair it with foods, but when I think about drinking the frosé, I think about just being by the pool. So pair it with like good friends and like an outside pool day. It's a great way to beat the heat.
I'll be thinking of you every day on my staycation when I'm having one of these.
Good. I love that.
So Desiree, OLP asked about a sugar alternative. We talked about monk fruit sweetener. We definitely sell it at Mariano's and I think our baking aisle. But are there any other sugar alternatives that you know of? I think Steve is one, but I haven't really used it or worked with it.
So I use a sweetener and it doesn't, it comes in a dropper. It's called Sweet Drops, I believe the name of it is. And I use those in my coffee, and that could be a good substitute if you're trying to stay away from the real sugar. But Sweet Drops is the name of it.
Love it. We have over 40 people on our Zoom tonight. I'm so excited. This is awesome. Does anyone else have any questions for Desiree while we have her here? She's obviously, shown us two amazing cocktails, and I'm sure she'd be happy to answer any questions we might have about the wines or drinks. Oh, maybe honey. Oh, Sarah recommended honey as a
Honey is also another good one. Yep. And honey has a similar consistency to the agave nectar.
Wendy, Tabasco sauce is not a sweetener, but it is delicious.
Hey, I feel like other people are feeling spicy today.
I know. I feel people are like ready for fun. It's like almost the weekend.
I
My
love
mom
it.
said that you did an excellent job.
Oh, thank you so much. Thanks for joining, Mom.
And do we have anything else? I want to know how Shayna's charcuterie tray is. Is it done? Did you eat it all? Is there any left for us?
Hey, yeah, I've enjoyed eating in front of you. Let's see, we pretty much killed it a little bit. Let me see if I can do this.
We still have some work to do, but it's pretty good.
And also, I have no pants on, so sorry if I offend you people.
You're the first person out of all the Zooms that we've done that isn't wearing pants. And to be honest, I didn't notice. So
I mean, they're really, 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 really short shorts.
that's
So
okay. I
Small
thought you were like
pants.
summer
It's okay.
outfit.
yeah.
It's hot. No judgment.
Yeah. All right. I think these are all of the questions. Everyone's having a great time. Desiree, this was really incredible. Hopefully we'll be able to have you back on Zoom, but most importantly, it would be really awesome to have you in our stores once you can travel from Los Angeles where you live, but you're in Maryland right now. But I know if you're ever in town, we'd love to host you at Mariano's and do a Campo Viejo tasting party or something really fun, and maybe have you back on a Zoom soon.
Absolutely. This was so much fun. Thank you all for joining. And for those of you that made the cocktails, I hope you enjoy. I hope you make it later. But this was so much fun. I can't wait. I got 2 cocktails to finish. So.
I know. And you know what? I mean, they're both like halfway done. So I'm like,
I know. Me too. Thanks so much, Amanda. I appreciate it.
Desiree, it was awesome. And everyone's asking about Zoom events. If you go to marianosmarket.eventbrite.com, Sarah, maybe you can post it really quick. All of our upcoming classes, we've actually kind of put a little bit of a halt to the classes because with the summertime, a lot of people are, I think, too busy outside. You know, Desiree was a great draw and got so many people to come, but we'll probably be doing them once a month or every couple of months. Until we can start doing things in stores, and then we'd love to see you there in person. So we'll keep them going, Maria. So yeah, we'll try. We have one next week and one a few weeks later. So we'll keep them coming. All right.
Oh, and don't forget about the coupon. There
we
is
didn't
a
know about the
coupon.
coupon. Oh my God, that's
Okay.
amazing.
There's a coupon. There's $5 off when you buy a bottle of Campo Viejo Rosé and Absolute Vodka at Mariano. So perfect opportunity.
Because this is what I'm going to be drinking all next week.
Yes. And then tomorrow is National Tequila Day. So if you want to celebrate with your friends and show them a really fun, tasty cocktail, get your Avion and your Campo Rosé and make the Rosarita for your friends to celebrate National Tequila Day.
That's a cool way to celebrate because it's such an interesting spin on a margarita. So I'm going to post it. I'm going to make it again and make it really beautiful and post about it tomorrow.
Love it. Thanks for that reminder about the coupon.
I know, I totally didn't know about it. Denise, you have a nice weekend too. Do you need to download the coupon? I think, does Stu or Sarah know, does the coupon need to be downloaded or is it
You just clip it to your Mariano's card.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so it's a digital coupon.
A digital coupon.
All right. So when you go on to our website, you can download the coupon, or if you have this shopping app, which I have because I pick up all my groceries from the stores, you can download, there's a space that says like coupons and you can like download it on. So you should be good to go. Well, coupon, yes.
Yeah.
If you order, Shayna asked, well, does it work for Instacart? It does, but only if you go to delivery.marianos.com because that's driven through our website and you can get your loyalty points and all that stuff. If you just go straight to Instacart, I'm not sure if there's a coupon. And thank you for your nice comment. Shayna says, thank you, Desiree, and thanks to us for hosting.
Thanks for coming.
I think you guys might need the app. If you have any questions, you can email me or Sarah. I'm amanda.puck@Mariano's, and Sarah is sarah.lutz@Mariano's. I think that's her email. She'll let you know. If not, just email me. All right. I'm going to definitely finish enjoying my cocktails, Desiree.
Cheers. Thank you so much for having me. Cheers, everyone.
Thanks, everybody. This was such a
Cheers.
great night. Thank you.